noise in LinkedIn for GHCI 2024. So yes, we are moving forward to our next panel discussion. So yes, the panel discussion is about AI for security and security. Anu M. Chaku, Gargi Dashputa, and Arati, Deepa, and Anuprita. I welcome all of the panelists on the stage, and we have a topic on intersection of AI and security and the role each plays in advancing the other. So I put your hands together for a set of speakers.
Yeah. Can everyone hear me okay? Hello. Okay, awesome. How's everyone doing? Post-lunch blues have gone. Awesome. I'm Anu. I'm a senior leader for the technical marketing engineering team at Cisco. And I have this panel of absolute overachievers. We have a CISO. We've got a head of solutions engineering. We've got a director and a VP. Honestly, doesn't get better than this, right? So I want to take a quick couple of minutes before we go into the session context to introduce all these fabulous women here. So first of all, meet Aarti Avhat. She is a director of engineering at the security business group of Cisco. Of her 20 plus years in the industry, she has spent 13 years at Cisco building various network and cloud security products. She's currently leading the threat and observability portfolio of the Cisco firewall. One fun fact about Aarti, she owns and runs a women's football club and training academy for girls and women across Karnataka, and they play in the topmost women's leagues. I have known her for years, and I was hearing about this first time last night. And meet Deepa. She's a customer advocate and solutions engineering leader for India at the Akamai Technologies. She's part of a dynamic leadership team driving growth, defining go-to-market in one of the world's most exciting markets. She is dedicated to inspiring more women to pursue customer-facing technical roles where they can thrive and make a meaningful impact. When she's not working, you can find her on the tennis court where she is a lifelong beginner with a passion for the game. Meet Anuprita. She's a group CISO at Angel One. She's the finance brainiac on the panel. And she's been serving the BFSI industry for the last 27 years. She believes in working the unconventional way and believes that a lot can happen through collaboration. She's been driving the CXO community across India, Middle East, and South Asia with the belief that if hackers can collaborate, so can the defenders. And meet Gargi. She is the Vice President of Engineering at Palo Alto Networks. She leads the Prisma SD-WAN product. She's a technologist at heart and has 30 years of industry experience. And she just recently, a fun fact about her, she just recently started exploring the world of art and has picked up painting and sketching as her hobbies. All right, so with that, let's get started into the panel. And I know that over the last couple of days, you've heard maybe a lot about AI. We don't want to keep it repetitive, but I believe that you're going to hear some fresh insights about the intersection of how AI and security comes together. And before that, just a show of hands, how many of you work with AI on a day-to-day basis? And I'm talking even ChatGPT. You use ChatGPT? Or AI assistants at your organization? How many of you believe that AI can become a security threat for you as a user or for your organizations? Yeah, exactly. So with that, I'm going to ask all of our panelists to give us some insights. And I think we'll start with Aarti, and I want to, our audience also to hear from each one of these amazing women about how they use AI at their own organizations. So Aarti, maybe you can start with how Cisco is using AI.
Thank you, Anu, for nice introduction. And thanks to GHCI for this wonderful opportunity to be on this panel along with all these accomplished ladies here. It's really a pleasure to be here. So back to your question, Anu, what we do, what are we doing at Cisco in terms of AI? So I think all of you must have heard this quote that AI cannot replace humans, but AI, humans who knows AI will replace humans who don't know AI. So, and that is true for organizations also. Like all the organizations now are trying to ride this AI wave, and Cisco is not an exception. So, I think most of you know that AI ML is not new. It has been there at least for past 2 decades, and Cisco has been building AI ML based solution at least for a decade. And what changed in November 2022 when ChatGPT launched is basically the AI got the user interface where humans could interact with natural language. And that democratized AI completely. And people who are not even technical could get access to AI. And that's when generative AI wave had started. At Cisco, we are using AI, first of all, to increase efficiency, engineering efficiency, and for operational excellence. We are using tools like Microsoft Copilot for coding, for automation, and for code reviews. So just to improve the efficiency of what we do day to day. On security front, Cisco has a unique advantage because 85% of internet traffic goes through Cisco network. And we have an opportunity to build AI-based solutions where network meets security. And we have been doing that. At Cisco, we have entire AI stack, starting from the bottom layer of infrastructure to application layer. So we have been working on Hyper Fabric, which is infrastructure for AI to scale. At the same time, we are also building network security solution, which are AI/ML based to detect threats in the traffic without decryption. So, and there are email security solution which are using AI. At the same time, we have policy optimizer and analyzer and optimizers. So one of the toughest or complex tasks for security admin is defining policies. So with AI, we are guiding security admins how they can manage their policies. And lastly, we have AI assistant. It's a universal AI assistant in all the solutions, deployed in all the solutions to guide customers how they can leverage our. So there is a wide variety of AI solutions from top of the stack, from bottom of the stacks to top.
Awesome. Deepa, how things at Akamai?
So again, first of all, like Aarti said, we're really excited to be here. I think we have a very native AI audience, so great to have all of you here. So again, there's obviously a big trend about how do we make AI more accessible to our customers, how do we improve productivity internally as well. So there are a few things that I want to highlight what we're doing at Akamai. These are my personal views for whatever is known in the public domain. So the two parts over there, one is where as any security practitioner, if we have some here, there's so much data coming at you, right? You need to figure out how do I find the trend, how do I respond to it quickly, how do I mitigate it even more faster, right? And then you have disparate systems with disparate protections. How do I make more sense of it? So come end of the day, it's all just data, right? So that's where we are evolving our observability tool for our primary security solution that we have at Akamai, which is a WAF. For that, we've come up with a chatbot where essentially you can interact with your visibility tool in natural language. You can ask queries. What's the trend for this particular IP across the globe or across all my applications and things like that? And so we're definitely leveraging some of those intelligence from what we've seen across the board on Akamai. The other part of it is now, again, while you're leveraging AI to be more efficient, mitigate attacks faster, how do you also protect against it, right? So that's where the security for AI comes in. And the aspect that we're working on a lot is the current solutions we have, how do we adapt that for LLMs? There are a lot of, I'm sure we'll talk more about the attacks that are coming in, but again, how is their input validated? what kind of application layer attacks are coming in, how do you avoid all of those? So that's where you need to blend how do you protect your customers, and our idea is to come, and we're working on something which would be launched pretty soon on how do we have a WAF for LLMs, and it would help you protect against a lot of the OAS top 10 for LLMs that have been published recently. So that's a little from me. Thanks, Anu.
Thanks, Deepa. How about you, Anuprita? How's it getting used in the fintech environment?
So I come, I think 21 years I'm in financial industry, 27 years overall. So finance is like, okay, probably every day I think about the finance after working for 21 years. So how many people, because a lot of youngsters, like how many people are aware about the finance or broking? If can, okay, at least one or two hands, three, four hands, good. So we are in the broking industry, and if you know, like from physical, we have become completely digital. Last 5 years, there is so much of uh, evolution in the broking industry, and now the trend is to have a super app. And when you have a super app, you don't have traditional service-oriented kind of model, business model. So it's a super app. So people are servicing on their own, and there are no call centers, nothing. So in that, it's very important for us to provide uh, the right information, because if you see number of scripts, if you see the momentum in the market, the way every minute, uh, not every minute, every second there is a rate change which is happening and based on the supply demand. And there's an ocean of information. Now in the ocean of information, you can't flood investor with so much of data where they get confused and they get out of it. So it is very important for us to understand what is the behavior of an investor, and accordingly we need to give right information and right trigger to the investor. Investor, when I'm saying, means customer. Our customers are like investor who are investing in the market. So it's so important for us to give right triggers, to give right information, and to have right nudge where they have a visibility about what is happening in the market trends and what is the right point, right entry point, what is the right exit point. So it becomes very, I can say from tech world complex, but for user, once you have a visibility and you have a chart and you have a trend, you can very well see, okay, this is the pattern, and this is where this script is trending and this pattern, and then industry is trending in this pattern, the whole market is trending, whether bearish or bullish, you can take a call on that. So for us, AI is a core foundation of our business product offering, and AI is being used everywhere. So AI is being the strategy as a competitive advantage for business. So it is the adoption of technology. We have to use AI, and security can't be out of AI, right? So business technology aligned to business, and even security strategy also to be aligned to business. So that is where, for us, without AI, we might not be able to survive. So that's how
Well
the
said.
core in AI has been ingrained in our whole foundation
Security is a need, it's not just a
by
want.
default. Yeah.
Thanks, Anuprita. Gargi, how about you?
Yeah, I think that's the advantage of going last. Everybody has said everything that is being done.
Right.
But thank you for taking care of our nest egg, our money, and making sure everything is secure, and we'll have it when we really need
You
it.
can do further investment, and everybody can open the account.
Yeah. um, from my side, I think everyone would have seen and heard of Palo Alto Network was the first company to launch the cybersecurity or the product that um, protects the AI and the AI model, AI runtime security, AI access security. And that's very much well known. I'll not delve on that. There are also the co-pilots, which has been launched for getting in-app help for the people on how to do it, or customer help for themselves to self-serve. The area that I would like to talk on is internally as a team, how are we addressing to get more efficient? Because AI is here, and everybody would have heard from Sundar Pichai that 25% of all new code is written by AI. So that's the area that I am concentrating on, and making sure that we do more with the people that we have, and we help and deliver the business need and the business products more agilely and go to the market faster. So with that, what we have done is made sure that using AI and ML, we are generating test codes so that the product quality gets much better and we can actually go, time to market is reduced. One example I will talk about is we have actually built a product where it does a clustering of the, regression test is done. And earlier the regression test, analysis of the regression, it used to take 3 weeks, for example. We were able to actually bring it down to by two-thirds and finish it in 1 week. What advantage that do we get? We get to do a lot more regression faster, make the quality much better. So from my side, as a engineering leader, my focus is how do I help my engineers to get more productive and do more, and for the customer, give a product which has got higher quality and they trust us more.
Which is a big area for all of us in the product teams. Sure. Thanks, Gargi. Coming back to you, Anuprita, because you're from a fintech environment and the challenges, the use cases, they're all very different in a finance environment as compared to a conventional IT organization. So can you maybe slightly deep dive into how a finance organization would be using AI-driven technologies for cybersecurity?
So, as I said, like, okay, see, one myth is which everybody thinks that technology is only cybersecurity, right? Technology is a technology risk. Cybersecurity risk comes when you have investor data. So any security around the data or any security beyond your organization is a cybersecurity. Now here I feel that technology, at least when I listen to all of you, I feel that okay, I'm in safe hand where my product teams are doing so much of research. So my technology risk is in a way covered. What is not covered is the dynamic part is how do you take care of customer information protection and customer behavior protection perspective. Second thing is there, so if we have our own perimeter, we have a control. But when things go beyond our perimeter, that is where we need to have more and more control.
Right.
More and more, not controls, but visibility. If we have too much of control, then obviously business cannot innovate and
Right.
find out new products. So one is that security by design, we all talk about it. We go beyond that and we make it like security by design from the product design itself. And for us, product design is not the solution design. For us, the product design is the customer-based product design, investor-based product design. So when we define like, okay, this kind of offering, whether we, let's say, for example, basket trading, whether we offer, or algo trading we offer. So that place itself, we try to include the kind of implementation controls what we should have and the kind of monitoring control what we should have, and that flows through a SDLC process. In addition to that, what happens is that, and this is last 10 years, the new model is like conventional way you can't you can't grow, right? So unconventional way is to grow through a partnership. And when you have through a partnership for takes like Uber, Amazon, it's very easy because everything is integrated with API. But for fintechs or banks or any kind of financial institute, having an integration is a new part of it. And that is the expansion last 5 to 7 years, 10 years, what we are seeing. 10 years was the start of it, but now in last 3 to 5 years, that's a huge adoption of having an expansion through business partner. And how we can do business partner integration is like either through API, and because you have a super app and you want to provide like, okay, you want to provide trading, mutual fund, insurance, lending, everything, and you can't have one company providing everything where you also internally might have different companies, but you have one entry point. So all, whether are internal integration or external integration through partners, that is what where the use of API, the SDK integration, those kind of tactics or rather techniques which are being adopted. And it's very, very important to have the visibility of what's happening in that, because any exploit at a partner level, regulated entity is accountable for it. So our regulator will come and fine us, and that is what you all hear that okay, this bank is fine, this financial institute is fine, even if it is through a partner, but accountability is with us. So that is where having uh, can we prevent everything? We can't prevent because we want to innovate. What we can do is having a early detection, and that is where the use of AI helps us to find out early detection, whether within our data, within our ecosystem or out of ecosystem. That's how we have to use AI so that our risk is reduced, cannot be avoided.
And the penalty is too high for any
Penalty is
kind
too
of
high. And now after DPDP coming in, 250,
right.
250 crore is like everybody is scared
Oh
of
my
it.
God.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Deepa, coming to you with API security, right? It's a big area. A lot of vendors working out there, and it's susceptible to a lot of security concerns when it comes to AI, to API security. So how can we leverage AI to secure our API integration?
Yeah, thanks, Anu. I'll build on what Anuprita said, right? We're living in a world of APIs. I'm sure to come here, many of you took a cab. You paid by UPI. You probably got coffee at Coffee Day and paid again with UPI. Your travel is everything, booking is online. Groceries are online. I mean, what have you, right? So every day there's a new service, especially in an innovation city like Bangalore, there's something new popping up. And that's why APIs have simply exploded. That's the new way of developing apps and applications. Considering that Gartner predicts right now in 2026, 30% of the API traffic will come from where? AI and LLMs, right? So that's where we need to start thinking about what are those different threats that are coming in? How are you going to get ahead of them? How are you going to protect them? And Akam has been working on an API security solution where the old ways of protecting WAFs and things like that, where it's all signature based, you figure out a pattern and you block it, doesn't work. Once you're authorized as an API, you can do whatever the hell you want, sorry, whatever you want with the data. So that's where we look at leveraging AI to, again, first of all, do discovery, to find out where all are your APIs, who's accessing it, what third parties, which some developer created some API, forgot about it, where are your shadow and zombie APIs? And besides that, we look at how do you discover these patterns using techniques like clustering. Then you look at how do you do more anomaly detection, what is the usual behavior, and what is different, what is deviating. It's something called impossible time travel. Suddenly, I'm sitting here in Bangalore, and there are 3 requests coming from Delhi from my phone and my fingerprint. Doesn't make sense, right? So you need to look at that. Then how do you reduce false positives? Obviously, you want to mitigate attacks and try to not impact your users. And the last few are how do you prioritize these attacks, right? So you have all this data coming in. Where is the biggest risk? How do you, I'm sure a CISO like Anuprata is thinking, what is the most risky? What is going at my data? What is leaking my PII? So you need to look at that. And the last part of is how do you quickly take action, right? So we're embedding AI into all of this security solution to make better decisions and protect our customers.
And just going back to everything you've said, Anuprita said, seems like there's so many security concerns with systems that are using AI, right? Especially in a finance world where we cannot afford even, like any kind of risk. So, Aarti, can you maybe list down what some of these security challenges are? Are there any ways to mitigate it or to solve them?
Sure. As Deepa talked, right, there are APIs so widely used now, and the data, what happens is AI/ML system, any AI/ML system you take, it is as good as data behind it. And efficacy of AI/ML based solution is dependent on how good is the training data. So the most common threat for AI-based systems these days is data poisoning. So where bad actors can get access to data, or they can insert some malicious data into the data pipeline, and that basically will cause this system to give incorrect inferences or outputs. And as Deepa was saying that she's sitting here, but somebody is accessing her account or paying on her behalf, and she gets so that can happen if these bad actors can get access to the data or can poison the data. Other thing is that these bad actors can also reverse engineer the models and again get access to sensitive data, or they can attack the data pipelines and get access to database. So again, data is the gold.
Yeah.
So the protecting data is the most important task for each security practitioner, like
Right.
Anuprita. So So what we are doing or what we can do to protect these attacks is, first of all, every organization need to ensure that they are uh, enforcing strict access control and only least privilege access, zero trust
Zero trust access.
access. That is something that every organization need to implement. In addition to that, there need to be regular security assessment. There should be monitoring for these systems. So when it comes to monitoring, health monitoring is one of the tool that has been in place, and where we look at the time series data to see if there is any anomaly. But with AI coming to picture, where it's the data is at machine scale and all the operations are happening machine scale, the traditional health monitoring system do not help. So AI ops is something that is getting more and more traction. I know Palo Alto has AI ops solution. Cisco also has AI ops solution. So that is something being widely used and important for security admins. So basically, we have to use AI to protect AI systems.
I really love that. It's quite
Just
the paradox, using AI to protect
Just to
against AI.
add to that, Anu, so there are
Yeah.
two parts when we monitor
Yeah.
it. One is the insider, right? Internally, we have an ecosystem where we monitor.
Yeah.
But actually, being a CISO, we can't think only for internal. As I was saying that, okay, let's say there is a outside impersonation, brand impersonation. There is outside customer attacks, phishing attacks. There are a lot of frauds which happens where there are duplicate apps, rogue apps. There is a lot of dark web activities which are happening. And it's not that AI is being used by all our scholars. AI is also used by hackers also. So it has made their life also simple. So
Yes.
for us, we have to have internal monitoring. We also have to have external monitoring. And if anything happening on that, this is where we need to have. And the use of AI will really help us to get early alert so
Yeah.
that we have a quick call to action.
Yeah.
As she said, like hackers. So usually bad actors and hackers are the quickest to get access to any new technology and
Right.
AI. So they are faster than the practitioners or develop
And
security
well
solution.
equipped.
Yes. So
Gargi, what do you think? What do you?
Yeah, I think we all are protecting, making sure that the data is not getting poisoned. The models are sanitized,
Yeah.
and making sure that the breach will happen. How fast are you able to recognize there is a breach and act on it, and so that we are able to protect the environment. So that is something that Palo Alto, we have a suite of product in Cortex which is able to do that. Besides that, I think the one thing that I would like to talk about is AI is expensive. AI requires a lot of resources. How do we become more responsible towards our future? Because it's there to stay, but we need to be responsibly using what we have right now, so that we can continue to use and our future generation can continue to use. So with that, I would say, like, when you are looking at the data, we should always make sure that the data that is being fed, or is it the poisoning getting done with PII data? There are GDPR and CCPA, making sure that those the data that is coming in is sanitized for those. Next thing that I practically try to do in my environment is that AI and models are getting generated now, and is quite expensive. Everybody knows that it's expensive. It takes a lot of resource, and a lot of our use cases, actually, if you look at it, probably I would say the 80+% of the use cases that we look at, we know the set of data that is coming, and we know the outcome that we are looking for. We don't really need the expensive AI to really solve it for us. I would rather use our the clustering algorithms, statistical models, which has been existing for a long time. Even actually, I have seen a lot of times, my team, when they would try to use a AI model, where I could have used a rule-based algorithm, because we know what that data is. We are creating regex. We know that this is what I'm looking for. This is the outcome. So what we have done is we try to understand the data that we are doing and create the regex out of it, and then continuously keep monitoring, so that we are being responsibly using AI, so that we can use it for future as well.
Right. Yeah, and you you actually talked about a very good point, responsible AI, right? So we need to have some kind of governance models, have something that is perhaps limiting our users, but also playing the devil's advocate here. And maybe, I don't know, folks in the audience are maybe thinking about this. But if we have too many strict governance models around AI, do you think that's going to limit us from developing an AI model that might reach its full potential, be super precise, be super accurate? Deepa, what do you think?
Sure. No, I think it's always a balance, right? Business is all about a balance that how do you figure out what are the best practices? How can you continue innovation? But at the same time, you want to be sure that we are protecting what the data is and where the PII is. So it's definitely important to figure out what's the right way. And I think just like we touched right earlier, there is just like there's Chat GPT Copilot, there is already Worm GPT, right, where you can go and figure out how to attack. There are dark LLMs already available on the market. It's much cheaper than actually setting up your own GPU to go and just run, just point at a particular website or an application and figure out that what is the format of the site, how can you quickly do reconnaissance and find attack patterns, and then quickly launch attacks also, whether it is dispute denial of service or application prompt injection, what have you, right? So it's definitely going to be a balance, and all of us working together to make sure we are protecting our customers and their data.
Absolutely, I agree. I mean, I think I completely agree with you. Having that balance is so important. And you touched upon accuracy, which is a big thing with AI. Like how much can we trust the outcome that an AI model is giving us? So, Aarti, can machine learning perhaps help with detecting, with making sure that we have accurate systems for threat detection? We talk about day zero vulnerabilities, environments like SOC environments, which are so, they're very time sensitive, and whatever data an AI system is giving out has to be accurate so that we get the right kind of outcomes. So, can ML help with that?
Yeah, certainly. So I think zero-day vulnerability is something definitely machine learning can help. So
Yeah.
the traditional solutions that we had so far, like intrusion prevention system, IPS, it is based on deterministic mechanism. So what that means is whenever there is a new vulnerability that is discovered, the threat researchers, they write rules, and those rules become available for security practitioners, and when they deploy those rules in their network, then there is a protection for those vulnerabilities. But till then, till those rules are written and those rules are deployed
Yeah.
in the network, the world or those network systems are at risk. Whereas machine learning, we can use machine learning to basically, based on the behavioral analysis, to do the anomaly detections. So give you an example, the SQL injection attack. So just for everybody's knowledge, what SQL injection attack is, uh, if the threat actors or bad guys, what they can do is in the input field of any web form, they can insert some malicious SQL code and get access to some sensitive data or database, and or can get into the system and do harm. So this is a good example where we can use machine learning. So
Yep.
in machine learning based solution, what we can do is we can train these models to with for, for a particular system. Suppose it's a banking system, we know what kind of SQL queries are usually executed. So we can basically create a baseline, like what is normal for that particular environment, and once that baseline is there, then there will these algorithms can monitor if there is any deviation from that baseline and alert the SecOps or whoever is monitoring the system, and then the SecOps person can take a call if it is a expected uh, query or
Yeah.
not, and take an action. So certainly for zero, and this is just a one example, say a
Right.
SQL injection
Right.
attack. There are other types of attack where you can train your models to basically detect
Yep.
these anomalies.
And reduce false positives and
Yes.
for all of our users. Um, so we've spoken about security concerns with AI, and there's so many vendors out there who are leveraging AI in their AI systems. Um, and I think think we are also competitively moving in the market. We're all trying to get that competitive edge with our solutions using AI. But with the way that AI is evolving, the security concerns with it are evolving on a day-to-day basis. What is your take on maybe putting more importance on coming together as an industry and collaborating to solve some of these risks rather than putting more importance on having that competitive edge? Gargi, what do you think?
Yeah, everybody knows that like we can do it as a team. We can invent much faster. So there is no point of inventing in silo and trying to solve the same problem because we all are fighting the same enemy, I should say, or the same adversary, which is the hackers and the bad actors. So I think there is definitely a lot of advantage, and we can actually leapfrog much faster if we all work together. As a result, I think a lot of communities are being built who are collaborating across the multiple companies. I think we can see the collaboration happening right here, right now.
Yeah, yeah.
There are multiple other meetups and multiple groups who are actually working on and solving problems together. Democratization of AI has actually shown that we should work together to advance the technologies at the same time, protect our people who needs the most protection. So there is definitely a lot of advantage in doing that, and
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent. As part of that, Palo Alto has tied up with colleges and universities where we go teach them on the cybersecurity tools and, as part of the cybersecurity program. So there is a lot of, collaboration happening not only between the companies, but also with our future graduates who are going to be our future for the technology.
Right, yeah. Aarti, so what do you think are some of the areas where we can cross-collaborate like that across organizations?
So as Gargi mentioned, there is already a lot of collaboration happening, and especially each of our organization has responsible AI framework, and there are some best practices that each of our organization is following. I think there is definitely an opportunity there to
Right.
share that those best practices and come up with the guidelines. What are the ethical guidelines and some standards? So certainly there is an opportunity there. Other thing is there are a couple of non-profit organizations. One is Cyber Threat Alliance, which is basically their companies like Palo Alto Networks, Cisco, Fortinet are already collaborating with that non-profit organization where basically coming up with sharing the threat intel and understanding what are the trends and then coming up with a solution for those. Another non-profit organization that I would like to mention is the MITRE. So MITRE is basically the organization that has this attack techniques, the framework that is being leveraged by most. That has become a standard to understand what kind of threats are there and what should be the response. And again, on MITRE front also, there is a collaboration between the universities where a lot of research happens, plus some of these organizations. So this attack framework has evolved a lot. There are so many new attack techniques got added, and I'm sure in future there will be more. But yeah,
Right.
there are already a lot of these organizations where for everybody's good, goodness of humanity, there is a lot of
Right.
collaboration, and
We
certainly
must
we should.
always encourage that. Absolutely. So, last question to you, Anupita. What advice would you give to organizations that are trying to create an AI strategy for cybersecurity?
So don't think, don't consider cybersecurity in silo. It's not a technology risk. It's a risk, insider, outsider. Use of AI is like there are a lot of standards. So I was feeling very FOMO about because both of them are talking about product collaboration, and
Yeah.
I really wanted to say even as a practitioner we also collaborate. We also have a lot of communities where we collaborate. But yeah, so the governance around AI is very very important, and so use of AI was never stopped. Uh, Even for example, National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange, they also make use of AI. If you trade, and if not, start trading on our platform. uh,
Spoken like a true CISO.
yeah, as a business
Yes,
person, yeah.
and a business.
So if you see the trading, and if there are, they also have unusual patterns. If there is too much of speculation happening, then they block the script for some time. So they also make use of AI for the business purpose. And from cybersecurity perspective, in relation to AI, what we need to see that use of AI is not wrong. Only the how do you use AI is very important. Another thing is because we are very responsible and accountable for whatever the customer portfolio, whether grows or booms. Uh, in that case, having understanding about the AI if somebody is using, what kind of right controls would we put it, that is more important. How do we detect the anomaly, not in terms of only network traffic, but in terms of consumer behavior? Deepa mentioned saying
Yeah.
that she's sitting here, she's logging in Bangalore, and then also three people logging from, let's say, Delhi, Chennai, whatever. So those kind of patterns from customer perspective is very important. The new thing coming in DPDP, and um, so having a breach is not going to be an option
Yep.
soon, because if you have a breach, obviously you have 250 crore plus fine. So the data privacy rule has to be very well thought about it before even writing the algorithms, and what kind of information would you share, uh, and algorithm biases, because if you have a wrong algorithm, obviously investor instead of buying a shares might sell a share. Or even from network security perspective, you'll have so much of fatigue that okay, you'll miss the uh, right alert, right? And that small problem becomes a monster,
Bigger
right?
one. Yeah.
And it's very, there is a very thin line between the reputation risk and the cybersecurity risk. Nowadays cybersecurity has become a very very close to reputation risk, like one cybersecurity incident and then a lot of questions coming from regulator, a lot of news in the market. So managing that also becomes another project. And understanding of AI algorithms, transparency, explainability is very, very important. There are a lot of standards. The global, you spoke about collaboration. The globally, there are a lot of AI governance. They are collaborating like US, UK, Europe, obviously Australia, Canada, India is also a part of it. So there is a lot of collaboration happening even at a policy level, and that collaboration will help everybody to understand what exactly is the pattern locally,
Yep.
globally, and
Yep.
there'll be different slicing and dicing which is happening. So eventually AI will become a business problem, and
Right.
then AI will be a foundation. If you don't have AI, then obviously, as I think Aarti mentioned, right?
Yep.
Uh, People not knowing AI, people will replace, or AI will replace pe- people knowing AI will replace not knowing
Not
AI,
know
right?
people who don't
So
know
all
AI.
even
Right.
technology solution will also be like that.
Right.
Consumer will also be like
Yep.
that. There'll be more and more demands also from consumer to have AI, but also accountability perspective. How do you establish the accountability, visibility, transparency? I think lot many angles are yet to come, and it's a start. And I'm sure next 20 years this will continue.
Great insights. It was my privilege to be a part of this panel, but before we go, I have a fun rapid fire round for all of you. Rules of the game, you've
I
got
was
10
stretching
seconds.
the answer so that you don't ask this question.
You've got 10 seconds to answer them. So quick, quick. Yeah. Question to Deepa. If you could go back to college and take a subject you did not back then, what would it be and why?
Physical education.
Why?
I would definitely like to be fitter, and I'm trying to do that right now. I definitely ignored that earlier.
Okay, great answer. Aarti, if you could go back to your 20-year-old self in your early career and give one advice to your younger self, what would that be?
I thought I'm still in 20s.
My bad.
But yeah, one advice that I would give my 20 years old self is focus on why, not what and how. Always try to ask why you are doing something, and before trying to think about how.
Great advice. Great advice. Gargi, for a woman in her mid-level career journey who's thinking about quitting her job because of personal reasons, what would you say in one sentence?
Stay there, stick on, good things are coming.
Yep. Yeah, can we have a round of applause for that? It's pretty spot on. Okay. Anuprita, what's one most important lesson that you've learned from a mentor?
Stretch your boundaries. Nothing is impossible.
Okay, that's really great advice. To Deepa, if you could change one decision you made early on in your career, what would it be?
It would be definitely to voice up more. I think it took a while for me as a woman leader to get my voice and to speak up. So I wish I would do more of that.
Okay. To Aarti, if you could spend a week with any influential figure, who would that be?
Satya Nadella, because the way he turned around Microsoft and transformed Microsoft, I would definitely like to observe him and learn from him.
Yep. Gargi, what do you wish society understood about work-life balance?
What's that?
Well played. Okay. Anuprita, last question, rapid fire question to you. And this might be a bit controversial, but can women really have it all?
I'll say why not. And actually, in our introduction, you said overachiever. I think we are achievers. There is nothing over. You will always have, and I'd like to spend little time on that
Sure,
because
sure.
all our youngsters here, and then in life, the stage comes where you are at a peak point, whether continue or leave, right? And in the life, the problems are going to be momentary. Those problems will be resolved. You'll hit with the new problems. Those will also resolve. You'll hit with the new problem. Those will also resolve. What should your journey should continue? Decide, whether even if consciously you want to live is fine, but then don't regret later. And not to regret, you continue your journey, nothing is less. Only the sky is also
The
not the
limit.
limit.
So,
All right.
Anuprita, basically, you're saying women can have it all, but not at the same time.
Not at the same time, yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, panel.
Thank you
And
so
with
much.
that, we end our panel.
Thank you so much for that amazing panel discussion. So, as a token of appreciation from our side, we would like to present a memento, a package. So, we would love to give it by Arushi from anadabi.org. And I know if you have any questions, our speakers are free. Please ask them outside the hall. Thank you. So let's have a quick photo.